Welcome back to the live desk. Taylor Johnson here. We are about to take you behind the story. So this week, the school bells rings again. While students packed up their backpacks, some districts have turned their focus to the most important thing on many parents' minds: safety and security. And the goal, to be as effective as possible in protecting students, teachers, and staff from the unthinkable. We have KCTV5 investigative reporter Samantha Boring here with us to talk about how one district is making big changes. And I mean, not only are they making big changes, Samantha, but they're also investing a lot of money. What can you tell us?
Yeah, investing so much money. This past spring, voters approved a $100 million bond to make a lot of changes to this district. Not only are they adding safety and security upgrades, but they're also getting a new elementary school. They're closing actually my elementary school because this is where I grew up going to school. And they're also building a new service center and way more. There is a whole list of projects because it's going to take them a couple of years to get through all of this money that the voters passed.
And to hear or to see more of what Samantha is talking about, we are going to play her story so that you can just get a closer look at the plans that are happening in the Gardner-Edgerton School District.
Thanks to a major infusion of cash passed by voters this last spring, the Gardner-Edgerton School District is putting part of that $100 million bond to work, starting with urgent security upgrades designed to protect everyone inside the buildings from real threats.
Just shy of 6,000 kids fill these halls in the Gardner-Edgerton School District.
We foresee that we're going to have steady growth over the next 10 years.
Superintendent Brian Huff says that growth is keeping the district focused on the future. They want to create an immediate impact with the bond money, and they say student and public safety is the best way to start.
We all need to be ready for the highly unlikely but possible situation where a crazy person shows up and tries to harm our most vulnerable kids.
Security measures are already in place, but they feel these improvements can add even more protection. The district is upgrading 670 cameras with 1,100 viewpoints across 19 district sites. They say this will be the backbone to their security system.
We'll start getting those installed fairly quickly, which should give us a much better view of the district.
Compare that to a similar sized district of about 7,400 in DeSoto. They have around 800 cameras across all facilities. The windows in Gardner and Edgerton are set to be enhanced with a ballistic and impact-resistant film. That doesn't mean bulletproof, but it's a protective layer to slow down or resist bullets.
It just slows down somebody who has ill will towards our kids.
Another big upgrade, Centegix. This is a badge that all teachers and staff wear with a button on it. They can press it multiple times and it can quickly call for help.
We're the last Johnson County district actually that's going with Centegix.
So what's the cost to bring these changes with the new bond? The cameras cost just under $980,000. Centegix is just over $766,000 for current buildings and one set to be built, totaling just over $1.7 million. They're still searching for what company to use for the window film. In DeSoto, the cost for a similar laminate was up to $1.7 million. These projects are just a fraction of the $100 million bond. So how might these changes impact students day to day?
Honestly, as a parent, my first thought is, are we generally providing more safety, or are we giving the appearance of safety?
This is Tim and Elizabeth. Both have students who attend classes in the district. Whether a visit or a lockdown, they feel the schools stick to safety protocols.
And then, of course,
They say it's been an overall positive experience for their students' safety. Learning about these new measures, Tim feels more money could go to school resource officers to create a better relationship with law enforcement and students. Currently, the district has 4 total SROs, and they're adding a retired police officer as a safety specialist thanks to the bond.
I just want to make sure that we are in fact getting the most bang for our buck.
Elizabeth agrees students should feel safe, but not let the security plans ruin their school time.
Kind of puts things into perspective that could happen, and that could cause anxiety for some kids or even these staff and teachers.
Superintendent Huff says they have to be careful about what they add to the district to preserve a welcoming space.
We don't want our kids to worry about the active shooter coming. We want our kids to worry about their math problems and reading appropriately. That should be their worry.
While these bring no major physical changes, Superintendent Huff says the focus stays on safety and student success.
The district is starting to add all of these upgrades this fall and plans to have the cameras, Centegix, and window film fully in place and functional by early 2026. Samantha Boring, KCTV5 investigates.
All right, Samantha. So you shared with us that this is the school district that you grew up going to. So what, as someone who lived through going to school here and just seeing this investment in security and safety, just what does it mean for you and even covering this?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a blast from the past to get to go back there. I graduated high school now next year 10 years ago, so it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years, but this is the school district that I went to. I was in these classrooms. I went to Sunflower Elementary, then Wheat Ridge Middle School, and then obviously the high school because they only have one high school there. So it was really meaningful to see how different the district is really taking charge with their safety and security, because when I was in school, I remember when Sandy Hook happened, and that was really devastating as a student to see that. And just seeing how schools started to kind of change their safety and security protocols. Gardner didn't really have anything major at the time, besides like locking the doors, those kinds of things, obviously security cameras. But seeing what they're doing, it's amazing what these districts are able to invest in. It is sad, though. That was something these parents, as well as the superintendent, talked about, is the fact that these teachers, these staff, these students, and these parents have to all think about the fact that their kid could possibly be harmed when they're going to learn. It's really sad.
And it's a totally different thought than when we were in school.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that that's something that ever crossed my mind when I was in grade school.
Yeah.
And school shootings, as I remember them, probably didn't start till I was in college. So it's really unfortunate that is what has to kind of be at the top of mind these days. But it's also great to see how school districts are being proactive. And one thing that I noticed was the badge, the button on the back of the badge. I believe earlier this week, our Nathan Brennan talked about another school district that has those as well. I think that that's a pretty interesting addition that they have put in as well.
And the nice thing about it's called Centegix, and it's this badge that all the teachers and staff wear. It has a little button on it. They can press it a few times, it will vibrate, and there are certain measures with it. So it's like you press it this many times, it calls this person. You press it this many times, it calls 911. It just depends on how the school has it set up, those kinds of things. And it's not just used for like really dangerous events like a school shooting. It also could be used for a student that's unruly, or used for, say there was a fighting class, or maybe there's a medical emergency. And this is a lot faster for the teachers rather than just picking up the phone and making a phone call. They can just click it really fast. It's so hidden that it's kind of a safer option for teachers. Say they're trying to help the students at the same time, it can just be done so quickly. And I think that's why the district wanted to add that, because it is something that has been received so well throughout Johnson County. We've seen Olathe have it, Shawnee Mission has added it, DeSoto, I believe KCK has also had it over in Wyandotte County. So it's something that people definitely have enjoyed having in their districts.
So just for clarification, so this bond, it passed this past spring?
Yeah, just in April, I believe, is the month.
Wow, and they moved really quickly.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, I live in Gardner now, and so I voted on this bond, of course, and it was very interesting to see them, because I don't know the last time that they had a bond, but the things that they're doing with this, because let me pull up the list, I have it here. So this elementary school I went to is actually being renovated into an early childhood education center. That will be the last thing they're going to do. It's a funny story. My kindergarten teacher, who still teaches there to this day, her last year with the district right before she retires will be in the new elementary school.
Wow.
So she has to pick up her classroom and completely move it. So that'll be fun for her, though, just to experience a new building and open a new building. And then they're getting a service center, a district service center, and then they're also getting new playground improvements that will also help with kids who are in SPED. And then they're expanding this program called Trails, which is for those who are, I believe, 18 to 21 who have disabilities and need more assistance in life. They built an actual building for this program behind the high school after I left high school. It's a big program, and it's something that they needed to upgrade. So now they're expanding that building as well. And then, of course, the safety and security. And that's just the first thing they're doing right now, because it's something that they can quickly do, and they also just felt like they needed to take action on that sooner rather than later, because it's not knocking down walls, those kinds of things that can be done so fast.
Yeah, and on our website, kctv5.com, we have a list here linked in Samantha's story of all of the new projects that are coming as a result of this bond that was approved just this spring. And it says also that the district is just under 6,000 students and a little over 1,000 teachers and staff. So everything from safety and security, like she just told us about, to the playground you just said. And this is really great work that they're doing here. We're also really grateful for you doing the story and just showing parents and families, you know, the strides that are being taken to make sure that they know that their kids are safe, because, you know, they really put their kids' lives in the hands of the teachers and the staff every day for the school year.
Yeah, and we heard from a lot of parents with this, and I think they felt like it was a positive thing, but also wondered, how will this work? Will this actually provide safety? Will it just be an appearance of safety? We talk about that in the full story, obviously. And then, two, the anxiety for students. That's something I think a lot of parents are hopeful doesn't happen, is that having that in the back of their head when they're trying to learn, because that's not what the district wants. They want this to be a safe, welcoming learning environment for them. And that is hard to do when you're trying to protect the students. And that's something the superintendent said. He was like, we don't want it to feel institutionalized, because this is not a jail. It's a place for kids to learn.
Well, hopefully this story gives parents the relief that they need as they get ready for their new school year. We know some of the kids went back today.
Yes.
Can't believe summer is already over.
I know.
So crazy. But again, thank you so much, Samantha, for coming up here and talking with us a little bit more about your story. And again, you can find this at kctv5.com. Again, Gardner-Edgerton School District adding more than $1.7 million in new security measures, reported by our very own Samantha Boring. We're going to take a break, and then we will be right back.
Thanks, Taylor.